These weird and wonderful abandoned buildings just continue on. I'm only a few miles up the road from my last video, and I don't know what the story is here, but I am in Kluane National Park. I just passed the big entranceway. No signs or anything about what this place is, but obviously an old abandoned trapper's cabin by the looks of it, and left as it was when it was last abandoned. Well, except for a few surprises. She scared the shit out of me when I walked around the corner. Someone's idea of a joke, I guess, with a computer. I have no idea. Looks like it was some sort of a shed or a shack, but had a bit of a bed hanging from the ceiling. But over here would have been the older of the two. Old log cabin. It's basically rotting into the ground. And again, as it was left. Ooh, it is full of mouse and squirrel shit. The old stove. It was somebody's home for a while. Probably a lot of different people's home for a while. But now abandoned. Nothing written on the door. I could see. Hinges still work. You certainly have to watch your step. These old trapper cabins, when they were actually used for trapping, they would, when they would leave for a while, they would put what they call bare boards on the windows and doors. And these were boards that were filled with nails or drywall screws sticking up, hundreds of them. And that way it would, well, try to keep the bears from breaking in. I remember when I was up north at Tim Green's, canoeing down Charles Lake with my friend, we came across one of those old cabins like this that a bear had gotten into. And it did have bear boards, but obviously they didn't work. Oh my God, the bear had just torn the whole place to shreds. Cans were just completely squished open or bitten open. It was quite an amazing mess. It just shows the kind of power that a grizzly would have when it's determined. Geez, there's the old stove in the back here. Good. What's left of it. So I would imagine the north is filled with places like this. You could probably do an entire 24 episode program on just going and visiting them and then doing the research on the history. They'd all have stories. A place like this probably had multiple stories. The current story, though, is one of rotting into the ground, I think. I'm looking back across the lake, at the one end of the lake, and the road goes across this really long causeway. You can see it there. This is probably the old road that I'm on. And they must have brought in thousands of truckloads to build that causeway. You can kind of see it there. I'm about to go across it. If you look on the map, the road, it looks like a big bridge. Oh, there's a bridge down at the end, like a few miles long. I imagine this was the bane of the engineers and the construction crews when they were building the Alaskan Highway, getting across this. There's some proper mountains, and the smoke is clearing even more, so I'm hoping by tomorrow maybe it'll be gone. Kluane National Park.